Hi friends, we have a friend Robert Prater from US, and why he's in India. So why you are in India actually?
Okay. Well, I think probably I need to start from the beginning and talk about why I'm in work with the disabled.
Okay.
In 1946, I was born, and in 1949 I contracted polio. Fortunately, I was one of those that had a very mild case and did not think that I had any residuals. Of course, as the years went on, we found that there were some minor residuals, and then as I got to be an old man, the residuals showed up more because I had used the good muscles to take care of the old, and things began to wear out, and I began to have to wear calipers. And along the way, I began to work with people who had disabilities. My education is in the area of working with disabilities, and for 30 years I worked with people with disabilities professionally.
Okay.
Being an old man who is one of the few survivors of polio in the US, and even fewer who wear calipers, I had found the calipers in the US to be quite expensive and not of good quality, and learned that because of the large number of polio survivors in India who were in need of calipers, the calipers made in India were of better quality and a much less expensive cost. And so originally I had planned to come to India to get a new pair of calipers.
For yourself?
For myself, yes. But along the way I began to read about the needs in India. I have been a member of Rotary International for many years, and one of our projects has been to help eradicate the polio virus, and so I knew that there were a good many polio survivors in India, and I felt led to come to India and provide whatever services I could using my background and my personal experiences to help especially the young adults in India who have disabilities. And along the way I needed a sponsor rather than try to come as a tourist, and so the Church of Nazarene, through their Compassionate Ministries division, has allowed me to be a volunteer employee of them, and that gives me the rights to an employee visa here in India. Although I receive no funds from anyone in India, I use funds that have come from my personal savings, my investments, and my continuing retirement benefits from the US to pay all of my expenses here in India. Also, because of contacts in the US, I'm able to help people in India with things like prostheses or artificial limbs, because in the US a used artificial limb, even though it may not have been used but an hour, becomes trash. And so I've been able to get donations of those used artificial limbs and bring them to the prosthetist in India, who can take the parts and reuse them and make the cost of limbs to people in need in India at a lesser cost. I have an agreement with the clinicians in India that if they use a part I bring, they can charge for their time and other parts that they use around that one, but they can't charge for that part because it is a donation. Here at Garden Reach, I am a consultant, again volunteer. I first started with them in 2017 or 2019, the year after I first came to India, and I have assisted them in developing some programming, also in getting some funding for different projects they've had. I have been able to help with at least one young man who needed calipers.
Okay.
Was able to provide them through a contract I have with a clinic in Hyderabad. And I'm consulting on a regular basis with the staff here and trying to help them develop the program to be a class program. I'm also assisting as a consultant at Narayan Siva Santhan in Udaipur. I am working in various areas in India, teaching, also holding workshops, doing consulting. I've personally helped to provide artificial limbs, calipers, wheelchairs, and other assistive devices for the differently abled people.
And you have sold each and everything in US to help these people.
Right. I'm totally dependent now on my retirement and savings to fund. And right, I receive no funds from any organization in the U.S. or in India, and my Indian income tax form this year will say 0 income and 0 taxes. I have taken an apartment in Delhi and plan to stay in India on a long-term basis. I travel all over the nation. I've been from one end of the country to another, helping and learning more about what's being done and the needs of the differently abled here in India. I like the term the differently abled now because when I began my professional career with rehabilitation services or working with the people with disabilities, my job was to see what they were able to do in spite of the disability. I'm also very interested in Paralympics, sports and recreation for the differently abled, and promoting things like wheelchair basketball, wheelchair cricket, blind cricket, sitting volleyball, activities that a person with disabilities can participate in.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.